Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Corey with Outdoor Dad. I'm back out here again trying to get enough footage for my second kayak fishing YouTube video. Gotta be honest though, I'm already a little bit salty about this whole YouTube thing. It's cost me a lot of fishing. It's 6 o'clock right now. I've been sitting here just waiting for enough daylight to film this intro and then start filming so that way you guys can see what's going on. Normally I'd already be fishing for 2 or 3 hours by now and hopefully caught some fish. But anyways, let's go on here. I'll show you what we got going on. All right, for bait, we're gonna have the same exact stuff. I got some crappie, I got some bluegill, I got some white bass, and then I got some really small shad today. They were even smaller than yesterday, unfortunately. I'm gonna be doing pretty much the same exact thing. This rod right here, I'm gonna start it out with a decent sized crappie head. This is gonna be my front left rod. Make sure I got plenty of good hook exposed right there. That way if a fish takes it all, won't have to worry about whether or not they found that hook. And this is what I'm doing, guys. I got Carolina rigs. I'm just dropping these baits all the way down to the bottom. I'm in 20.2 foot of water right now. I'll be going from about what we are now, 2021, to about 17 foot today. I'm gonna crank it up 2 or 3 times. It just depends on how I feel. And then we're just gonna set in the rod holder. So that one's gonna have a crappie head on it for now. It'll get that body chunk if something takes the head. This one, we're gonna put one of these little itty bitty shad on. And then this isn't how I normally do shad. Normally I'm gonna cut it into sections. I'll have, you know, a head or a body chunk. And then I'm gonna hook the hook through either, like I did that crappie where I went through the bottom of the jaw and came out the top, or I'm going to cut it and hook it in the back. But just because these shad are so small, I'm not even worried about cutting them. I'm just going to thread the hook on like that. That way there's a lot of hook exposed, and then there's a decent bait presentation. All these rigs are the exact same. They're all Carolina rigs. The only difference today is going to be the bait. They're all going to be suspended off the bottom. I've got my spot lock on now for my trolling motor. That just keeps me where I'm at. As soon as I get these baits all down, I'm gonna end up taking the spot lock off, and we're just gonna let the wind do whatever it wants to do with us. We might end up having to use the trolling motor at some point today because the wind is gonna be a little worse than it was yesterday, but we'll see how it goes. First bait I think I'm gonna take today is this big old bluegill. Hopefully it'll entice a big fish if we get around one. I about lost that thing. Hooking them around the back of the head. All you're really looking for when you hook them, I like to hook them at a little angle like that. All you're looking for is trying not to hook them through like the vitals or anything that's going to kill them. And you want to keep plenty of hook exposed. If you do those two things, you keep it alive and you keep plenty of hook exposed, you'll be all right. We're gonna put this one down. All right, guys. Hopefully the next time you see me, we got a big one on. Something bumping on the shad rod there. There's something taking my line back too. I think he's got it. There we go, guys. First fish of the day. Probably been about 15 minutes or so, I'd say. Look at that. Look at that. Ain't that crazy, guys? How many catfish there are over here. Look, he's barely hooked. That fish couldn't bite the bait hard enough to get that hook. Heck, I think he's just biting my hook now. There we go. Not about, oh, there we go. Yeah, I kind of thought that was going to happen. Get another little baby shad down here. Try to catch another one. He's still got that bait in his mouth. There's still some tension on that rod. There we go. Come on. Come on, I'm just gonna put you back in the water. Chill out. There we go, guys. Ain't much different than most. If you guys wanna see what I'm doing, I'm not really targeting anything specific, no structure or anything like that. I'm just kind of getting out here in the middle of the lake and just drifting over these mud flats, and it's kind of sporadic. Sometimes I'll get a lot of action for 15-20 minutes and then nothing for a while, and then sometimes it just stays on for a while. So just kind of trying to stumble across the fish. Look at this huge ball of bait, guys. That thing is massive. It was giving my graph a false reading, saying it was like 10 foot deep. I guarantee you probably can't see it on the graph. Well, there's some right there. There's probably some catfish and some hybrids just down there filling their bellies up. I'm just sitting here bouncing forth between the crappie head and the shad. They're just taking turns smacking these baits, not hooking up. This one might hook up. It's a little easier for them to get that little shad in their mouth. Yeah, he's hooked. Oh, that crappie head's going too. We're gonna set this one down. Look at that. That's the second pure white catfish I've caught in 2 days. These things are so pretty. Look at that thing. That's a pretty fish right there. Pure white blue cat. Let's let him go because we got a fish on this one right here we got to deal with. Get this thing back in the rod holder. If he's still on, I don't know if he's still on. Nope, he got off. That's okay, I'm not really upset about that at all. That's what's left of that crappie head, guys. These fish are relentless. We'll go feed that. We'll put this body chunk on now. When I do these body chunks, I just like to push it through like that. Make sure plenty of the hook is exposed. It's harder for those smaller ones to get hooked up when it's like that, but when a big fish comes and eats it, you want to make sure they got plenty of metal out there. Get caught in their mouth. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm also going to check on my live bait. I'll probably end up changing that out to a big live bait if he's not still kicking real good. You keep up that energy when you get down there, fish. Make sure you attract all these big old blue cats to you. There we go, guys. Hopefully whatever hits that is actually capable of swallowing it, not just tormenting it, so, or stripping it off my hook like the last one. Set that down, wait for the next bite. put a pretty good size live white bass down there. We'll let him sit down there and swim, and hopefully be good to go. I put him on the wrong dang rod. That's all right. We're gonna drop that thing down there, and hopefully them smaller fish stay away from him. I don't know if they're going to, but oh, he is swimming. That's a bigger fish, I think. Or he's just going crazy. I don't think it is a bigger fish, actually. I think he's just... Look at that. I don't know how I thought that was a bigger fish. Boy, he sure hit it like he was, though. Check that out, guys. How many of you guys have caught 2 albinos in the same week, let alone 2 in the same day? Not a true albino. I know it's a leucistic, I believe is what they're... I believe I'm pronouncing that right, but how many of you guys have caught 2 of those in one day? Or if you guys have ever caught one, let me know. Comment below. Let me know if you've caught one. I don't know if they're really that common anywhere else but here. I believe my biggest one came off white bass head yesterday. It was either white bass head or live crappie. This is a real good big fish piece of bait. And even if those smaller fish are down there tearing it up, it'll continue being a good piece of bait for a while. It can take those crappie bluegill heads. I mean, they get smashed real easy, but those big white bass heads, they can sit down there and get chewed on for a while and still have a pretty big piece of bait. Just gonna get the hook. I think he is. Here we go, guys. I tell you what, they may be all small, but this lake has just an amazing population of blue cats. I think I'm gonna try to reuse this piece of shad. These fish aren't being picky today. We'll just put it on there all crazy like. There's something going on with the shad head too. Something going on with the white bass head. All right, this fish got it. No, you don't either. I just don't know which rod to grab, man. White bass is getting smacked. Shad's getting smacked. That one's gonna hook up. Let me hurry up and get this fish off here and get that rod back in the water. I'm afraid something big's gonna take off one of these bigger baits, and then I'm gonna have a mess in my hands. I know I really gotta upgrade my rod. Oh! I really gotta upgrade my rod holder, guys. These Yak Attacks, these Omega Pros, they're nice and all. They're just not made for what I'm doing. They're really not. I lost a rod with one not too long back. I got a video of it on my pages. There we go. It's 100% my fault. I never should have used them for what I'm using them for, but monster rod holders, them things. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. He done went and got double hooked. Oh man, we gotta get some bait back down there. I know he's not. That was a good fish, guys. Man. Look at that. They didn't skip a beat. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh. That's a better fish. We're gonna spot lock real quick. I can't tell if it's not as big as I initially thought, or if he's just not really ready to fight yet. Oh, that's a good fish right there. He's wrapped up. Watch, he's getting ready to take off. He's not as big as either one of those ones from yesterday, but man, that's a good fish. I still gotta watch. I got this. Oh man. He's all wrapped up. I want to get him unwrapped. You get him unwrapped in the boat and they just start acting crazy. I want him to get all his energy out now. I gotta watch. I still got this white bass over here that he got killed, but he had a big fish. Grab him. And I missed it. He had double hooked himself. And they end up missing the fish. Oh my gosh, this thing is getting me soaked. There you go, guys. I don't know how bad that camera is. All right, I need to figure my life out real quick. All right. I'm gonna get you unhooked real quick. I'm still gonna reuse this. This is still a real good piece of bait. Go ahead and drop that down. All right, let's get this guy back in the water. Come on, buddy. Slide you back over. And he's off. I'm just gonna drop it down there. It's just gonna be a big dead bait. Look at that, I just dropped that bait down there. I don't even think that bait had time to hit the bottom before that fish was on it. Look at that. Do you see that? Look at that. Oh my God, that is crazy. Look at that. That is insane, guys. Look at that. There's an albino down there. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh. This other rod's going off. Oh, I got both my rods going. These little fish just tear it up so much. It's easy for that bait to just get in there and double hook itself. They're just down there constantly just smashing it. Alright guys, it's been about 12 seconds since I turned the camera off. I wanted to hook up on this bluegill head is what that is. Look. 3 in 1 day. I wonder if that was that same one. The one that was chasing baits that I had at the Topwater, that one actually looked a little bit bigger than this. I could be wrong. Those are so pretty. I'll never not get happy when I catch one of these. I don't care how big or small it is. That's just such a pretty fish. I think what I'm gonna do with this one, guys, they're just down there destroying this bluegill. I'm gonna take this, and this is gonna end up being a piece of cut bait once one of these rods lose their bait. Oh. Every time I try to talk to this camera, I get a takedown. Alright, you guys don't need to see it. You've seen enough. Anyway, what I was saying on this other rod, this back rod, I'm going to end up putting a big chunk of white bass on it. So I got me a big fish bait down there. I got a chunk of white bass on this left rod, but it's just not very big. So I'm going to take this, and we're going to chunk it. I want a good piece. So we're going to put that whole piece on there. Hopefully, we get a serious takedown on it and we get a big fish. You gotta make sure you get them scales off the hook. All right, that's a pretty good piece of bait right there, guys. Hey guys, I didn't realize that my GoPro had shut off. I don't know where it cut off at. I'm pretty sure you guys completely missed me catching larger dink, I guess. He's probably about 5-6 pounds. Bigger than most of the smaller ones we've been catching, but nowhere near big. The bad thing about these GoPros, they get just a little bit hot and they want to shut off on you. So with me constantly recording, it kind of heats it up pretty bad. But it's been slow for quite a bit. We're just now starting to get back into fish, and I'm kind of working my way to the ramp now. I got some stuff to do later today, so we got about 20 minutes left to fish. I'm hoping we can put at least one more good one in the boat. We'll see though. Something's just tearing that big piece of white bass to shreds. He's been at it for a little bit. It's hard to tell how many mouths have been on that piece of bait. You guys see just how crazy it gets over here. Them fish coming to the top, smacking it like it's a topwater bass bite. Oh, there we go. It's a better one, guys. He's not gonna be nothing like those fish we got on the last trip, but he's gonna be better than these dinks we've been getting all day. I gotta move that graph towards the back or the front of the kayak. The thing gets beat up so much. Well guys, that's going to be it for today. I got some stuff I got to take care of, so I got to get off the water. It's about 10 o'clock. I made some changes to how I recorded this video, and I'm going to make some changes on the editing. I hope you guys noticed, and I hope it got better. That's my goal. I just want to get better with every video until I get to a spot where I'm really comfortable with how the content's coming. If you guys have any advice, tips, anything like that, please share them with me in the comments. I'm trying my best to make these videos better. That's my goal, is to just get better with every single video. I'm gonna get a front camera. I'm working on that now. I just gotta figure out exactly how I'm gonna rig it. I know, as somebody that likes watching catfish videos, that's something I wanna see. So it's coming. Stick around. If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe it, and then follow my other pages if you want. Thanks guys.